Hello, welcome to my channel. Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and this may be my last physical book haul before the book buying ban begins for my 100 book challenge, where I have challenged myself to read 100 books that I already own before buying another book. Now, some of these books may make it onto the challenge, some of them may not. But let's see what I have added to my book collection. First is stuff from a little free library in The Undying Wizard by Andrew J. Offit. Now look at this perfect condition of this old paperback. This was published in 1976. Perfect condition, totally free. And it is a series of fantasy short stories, or it may be a fantasy novel, sort of in the tradition of Robert E. Howard. Now, here is a perennial favorite of Michael K. Vaughan. This is Carl Edgar Wagner's Cain and Nightwings. Again, little free library, nearly perfect condition. And this is a book from 1978. Again, this is heroic fantasy in the tradition of Robert E. Howard. And look at this. The Sleeping Sorceress, the second book in the Elric saga. Again, nearly perfect condition. And this book was published in 1972. And doesn't it just thrill your heart to see a cigarette ad in a book? I know, publishers trying to kill their readers, but perfect little paperback for free. Now we're going to look at the books that I picked up from my library pop-up sales. Each of these books was $1. Here we go. Coin Locker Babes by Ru Murakami. He's sort of the grungy, more existential Murakami. The other Murakami is always a perennial favorite for the Nobel Prize in Literature. Let me read a bit of the first paragraph. Now, just look at the size of that print. Why do they do this to old people? The woman pushed on the baby's stomach and sucked its penis into her mouth. It was thinner than the American menthols she smoked and a bit slimy like raw fish. $1. Razor Girl by Carl Hiaasen. Carl Hiaasen is a humorous author who sets all or most of his stories in Florida. And this just shows how effed up Florida is. And he wrote before the Satan took office. Amor Towles, Rules of Civility. I have read his A Gentleman in Moscow and The Lincoln Highway. Both of those books were excellent. This is his first novel. I don't hear as many people talk about this as his other two, but for $1, I had to pick it up. And now for thrift books. We've got Irving Wallace, The Fan Club, a novel of sexual terror and mounting suspense, unlike anything America's master storyteller has ever written. 50 cents. How can I say no to 50 cents? And this book was published in 1974. This is a 1980 edition. And who knows? Every man dreams of a love goddess, Picture Raquel Welch or Marilyn Monroe lying in the next room, naked. The plan to capture her and teach her the brutal realities of love. The act, a bold kidnapping of the world's number one sex symbol. The climax, the American dream of perfect love turns into a shattering nightmare of lust and terror. This book is 627 pages long. 50 cents. Norman Mailer's The Naked and the Dead, one of the great World War II novels. This edition, while it looks unread, has definitely seen better days. I kind of picked it up because it was only 50 cents, even though I own the Kindle edition and small print. 50 cents. Ken Follett, World Without End. This is the first of his World War I trilogy. I read his Pillars of the Earth book, which was set in medieval times, and that was fabulous. This one, I've heard good things about. It is right now my choice for March of the Mammoths coming in 2024. It could be overtaken by something else. Who knows? And like I said, historical novel set around World War I. And now I'm getting into some books that I purchased for a readathon that I'm doing. It is all about Holly, where I and Bad is Rad too are going to read all the books about the character Holly Gabney, written by Stephen King. And to get these, I purchased these two from Amazon. If It Bleeds and The Outsider. Now, this is book 4 in what we're going to read, and this is book 5. Normally, I probably would have purchased these for Kindle, but the Kindle price for The Outsider was currently going at $14.99, and they had specials on these two books. So I got these two paperbacks for $14.63, including tax. So I saved a little bit of money by not going for the Kindle editions. And now we're getting into the books that I got on Thrift Books. Usually when you buy Thrift Books, you have a minimum number of books you have to buy, or actually a minimum price, about $15 to get free shipping. However, I also had a credit where I got a free book. So I purchased this one. This is R.K. Narayan. This is a novel set in India. This is A Tiger for Mulgadi. I have purchased this for a special reading project that is coming up. I will be announcing that project in a couple of weeks, I hope. And this is the story of a tiger in a zoo. And as I remember, this is narrated from the tiger's point of view. I have also purchased The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. I do own a very old Kindle edition that I purchased in 2008. And I have to say that the formatting on that Kindle edition is just atrocious. They're not quite sure how to format paragraphs correctly in that Kindle edition. It's like they forgot English paragraph rules. So it's not a great edition, but I'm going to be rereading this for Remember December, and also for the Winter of Wyndham, which is part of Garrus' Books, Songs, and Other Magic. He's creating this readathon to read a lot of John Wyndham books. So I decided I would just get a used copy of Day of the Triffids, so I don't have to read my lousy Kindle edition. I could have bought a newer Kindle edition, but I decided I just go for the paperback. And this is probably one of my favorite science fiction novels of all time. And because I purchased those two, I got this completely for free, later by Stephen King. Now, this is not part of my All About Holly project. This is a hard case crime book that he published that I have not read yet. Apparently, this is just a crime novel. However, it has a touch of a supernatural. I believe it's about a kid who sees ghosts and learns how to solve crimes with the help of ghosts. Not entirely positive, but it was free. And then I got The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. This is a series of short stories. They are the retelling of fairy tales in a more adult fashion. And there are stories about werewolves in here. One of the stories was made into the movie The Company of Wolves, which apparently is very famous for werewolf films. I have not seen that film. But this one, I'm pretty sure, is going to go on my list for the 100 book challenge because I really want to read this. Another book that I got for my 100 book challenge is a book that I've read numerous times before, but I don't own a copy. And this is Fahrenheit 451, another one of the great science fiction novels. I had the option of picking this up on Kindle, but this is a story about burning books. And I thought I should actually own the physical copy of this one, just so, if the Mothers of Liberty ever break into my house, they can actually burn a copy of Fahrenheit 451, because I'm sure they will find this extremely objectionable. Another book that I'm almost certain to read for my 100 book challenge this year. The Rest is Slander by Thomas Bernhard, translated from the German by Douglas Robertson. This is a collection of 5 short stories by the infamous Austrian curmudgeon who basically hated everybody. And his style of all one paragraph for each short story or novel. These are newly translated, so I have not read any of them before. And this will make a great addition to the 100 book challenge because it is rather short. And although it's short, it's probably going to take a little bit longer than it would normally take to read the 191 pages because, as I said, it's all one paragraph and his writing style is very dense. And that is the end of my physical books that I have bought. Hopefully you see something interesting here. There are a few that I'm definitely going to be picking up real soon, and a couple that are just going to go on my shelves for someday later. Thank you for watching, and keep on reading.